All right. So, welcome back, everyone, to the Kahan podcast. My name is Madman Mo. I've got with us Dead and JSWIM John. If you all want to introduce yourselves.
Are you serious right now, bro? That's not what I asked you to do at all. I'm not asking you nothing.
It's your boy, JSWIM, Johnny B. We out here. We're just here to have a good time. And
Dead's not having a good time right now.
No, he's not. And good thing we edit this bad boy.
Oh, yeah. No, we finally have bloopers now. And good ones.
That's a good one. Bro, you gotta be kidding.
Oh, you heard that in the background?
Yeah. That was great, though.
Literally started the podcast, and then, bro, you gotta be kidding me.
Hey, fam, my fault.
All good.
Baby.
Do you want to take a moment to introduce yourself there, Dead?
This is, you know how it is. You know, it's your boy, DeadRegalia, on the mic. Bringing y'all the good music, that good song, that good melody. You already know what it is. But yeah, it's your boy. We back here again. It's been a minute, but we here.
Yeah, we are. And we've got new info from our glorious Lord and Savior, Bungie, and all that sweet jazz coming at us. A little bit of an interesting topic. I'd like to say I called it. John contacted me a little bit ago, and he was asking, "So, what are we going to do for like the next episode? What's going to be the next topic?" And I was saying, I'm thinking we're probably going to cover like seasonal content when it comes down to just like what are we getting, and what would be a little bit of a better approach to some of the seasonal content. I feel that we all end up being burnt out relatively quickly on the seasonal content and the way that it's handled, and lo and behold. That's what this TWAB is about, actually. So I don't know. I guess that kind of like lowers a little bit of our workload a touch because now we have kind of like pre-made bullet points to be going over. I don't know if anybody else has seen the TWAB.
I haven't.
At the gym.
Oh, just out there getting swole. While you were sitting down reading the TWAB, Johnny Boy was going ahead and getting swole.
Got the power of God and anime on my side.
Yeah, I literally just pulled it up. I just pulled it up. So I saw something about Gambit, so I'm not covering that because nobody likes Gambit.
I will not Gambit now or ever.
We've got some interesting things. They're kind of reworking the way that that seasonal content is approached when it comes down to bounty grinding and fatigue, which is good because I don't know if anybody was playing during Guardian games, but it was really annoying to say the least. It was just nothing but who can do the most bounties the fastest and what class do you happen to be doing them on. So what they're doing right now is they're reworking the way that weekly bounties are approached, how the season pass is executed, and we'll go over the season pass maybe a little bit later. But overall, I kind of like what they're doing, and I kind of don't like what they're doing. I still feel like they kind of missed the mark. But again, as John pointed out on the last episode, we've had the pandemic, we've had the ports of 2 new consoles, and they had a full-on engine update. So this is a very slow transition into what should have probably been Destiny 3. So bear a lot of that in mind. Take it with a grain of salt, and take our opinions with how you will, I suppose.
Take them with anger.
Hold it down and just start slapping it.
Whatever makes you leave an angry comment.
Yeah, we want that engagement.
I want you to throw the whole bag of salt at someone. Don't even open it. Just throw it at them. All of it.
Sounds like a NOSHA violation, but okay.
We can move past.
So what they're doing is they're removing the weekly bounties. We'll still have daily bounties and repeatable bounties, and it looks like they're altering the repeatable bounties a little bit so that you'll potentially have a little bit more bright dust. So it is a direct Bright Dust nerf, but they're also removing the necessity to be doing a lot of this on multiple characters to feel like you're gaining a lot of benefit out of some things. For instance, the weekly bounties for Drifter, Vanguard, and Crucible are all going to be removed, and it's going to be reworked to be a little bit more of like object focused tasks. Some of these obviously are kind of placeholders, and just to give you an idea, I hope that we don't have goals that are like focusing on trials with its current state if they're not addressing that this season again. But we have things like defeat certain primevals in Gambit, or so many primevals in Gambit, or defeat enemies inside of a Nightfall or a deal or something like that. Usually, like our standard bounties right now, where it's go in, get like 150 Vex kills, and play 3 strikes. So a lot of that is going to be staying the same, except we only have to do it on one character. We will end up with the net Bright Dust out of this, as well as experience. And the more difficult the experiences are, for instance, if we had to go in and we had to do a Grandmaster Ordeal for the Vanguard quest line for that week, we would be getting exponentially more experience out of that is netted to our characters. So it's kind of nice. Ends up, I suppose, speeding up progression for some people who are doing XP grinds and such like that. Likewise, they're also removing again, there's some of this FOMO that's coming in. They are removing the necessity to be playing every single week as quickly and as much as you can. Let's say you miss a week or two, and your third week you come back, you can still complete those prior objectives and obtain the rewards from those objectives. How do you guys feel about some of this stuff?
Go ahead, John. I think we lost John. Or he just has no
my
words.
bad.
No, he's roiding out.
Yes, almost exclusively. I was giving myself my ass shot that I needed to make it through. No, I think there's good and bad. I think when we talked about quests and kind of getting spoon fed, this still falls into that. We're going to spoon feed you what you need to know to get stuff done. But at the same time, one of the biggest drawbacks of the seasonal model, for me at least, I will not grind bounties. I will not do it. I don't want to do it. I will avoid it at literally any cost imaginable. So getting rid of the need for me to go to the tower to pick up 8 bounties and then go do those bounties so that I can get another reward, I'm fine with that kind of fall into the wayside. Because I miss out on tons of Bright Dust. I miss out on tons of XP and progression stuff just because I literally hate bounties. So getting rid of that, I think, is a step in the right direction. And I kind of, as you look through the TWAB, that example page of what we're going to be looking at for that, I like that. I like that it tracks weekly, that there'll be different stuff. I like having a sort of, it doesn't look like it's going to be changing every week. Like, for example, weekly bounties at the gunsmith. I don't like having to pull random weapons. I don't like having to guess what I need to use. Like, just tell me what you want me to do, and I'll get it done. So that change, I think, is good. It's just kind of going to all depend on what Bungie's expecting to happen from this.
Yeah.
Because if they're just saying, well, we fixed the seasonal model, we got rid of bounties, like, I don't know what you want. Like, here you go, we fixed it. I'm going to have an attitude. I'm going to have a fat attitude. But if they're like, this is a step in what we're trying to accomplish, we're going to try to play around, play it by ear, figure out what you think either way, that's fine. It's just kind of going to depend on what they're going to do with what they're creating. So, pros and cons. I'm trying to be a little more optimistic about this, especially like we talked about. Rough year, lots going on, bunch of different stuff, a lot of different ways. Let's just, at least I know they're listening, because the bounty problem was a problem. And we'll play it by ear. And, I reading through this, it's like complete weekly playlist on your rope burn progress by doing whatever, kinetic weapons. Those all are fine. And if that's what you're kind of expecting from me weekly, I like that, and that's a check in my book for the time being.
It kind of feels like a little bit of the standard seasonal pass rank up type of bullet points that you're supposed to hit through in the week, almost like in Warzone. You're supposed to go ahead and get so many kills in this type of lobby or in this sort of fashion. So you kind of target that week and say, okay, well, I'm going to get better doing this. So, yeah, I suppose it's a step in the right direction. It feels like they're going more towards a standardized season pass. What about you, Dad? Do you see any problems with this? Do you prefer this?
I am coming from a I'm not even getting on at all standpoint right now. Love the game, love it. It's a lot of fun. But it's just now I'm just kind of like I'll be at work and I'm like I really want to get the Warden seal, and then I'm like, eh. And then but I really just want my collection so I have it, and then later I'm like, so it's just like the incentive to play is just like a grab bounties, do them all. Now I've picked up on how like it took me a while, but I picked up on how to do bounties, grabbing ones from G. And I think last season, no, 2 seasons ago, they made it to where like instead of always having different weapons, they would try to make it the same weapon. So if it said auto rifles from Zavala, Banshee would have one, Pro would have one, and then Shax would have them. So you
Right.
could finish them faster using one weapon. That helped a lot because at first those bounties were all over the place. You'd have Zavala with sidearms and swords, and then Banshee has light machine guns and scout rifles, and then Shaq has something complete. He's got rockets and pulse rifle. And then like people are just like, well, so now I gotta switch to all these different guns to just do these. But then they made it to where now you can do Crow's bounties. Um, you can get Crow's bounties done. You can get Banshee's bounties done. Zavala's bounties done in one playlist. You can go into a strike playlist and get 4 different sets of bounties from different vendors. Get them done in one set and just keep playing. And then when you're ready to do Crucible and you finished all the other bounties, you just go over to Crucible and knock those out. You know.
Yeah.
So
That was a welcome change. I agree.
I've really picked up on how to do that. But now it's just like I feel like John, like I don't feel like it's just like now I kind of what I really do want to do, which I'm gonna have to get with John later on this, but I do want to get better at Crucible.
Right.
And even though I was super salty about that match that we had a couple weeks back, it's just I feel Bungie's trying. But I have no incentive to the Harbinger except maybe get a role that I possibly might like. But
yeah.
it's all depending on what Bungie does. Like everyone's kind of complaining about certain things with the game. I have my own complaints as well. I mean, to each their own. That's not a bad thing. But my thing is this: like you find something that you enjoy while you're on. Try to play with the homies or something. Only do one thing that you really feel like doing, and set your mind to do that before you
I
grow
will
to hate the
agree.
game.
Yeah. No, I will agree that I kind of wish that maybe you were able to select a little bit more of what you would like to focus on for that week. Like for myself, I would obviously end up picking a little bit more of the PvP stuff, unless I was saying it's like, yo, this week we have X rotation of this strike, and that strike I know is relatively. Let's say we had Lake of Shadows, and the pinnacle, or not pinnacle, but the adept reward for that week was the palindrome. I absolutely want that. So you know what? I will take a week off of Crucible, and I will do nothing but grind that, and I will try and get a decent roll, and I'll run it with people because that Grandmaster is relatively easy for my weak ass.
You get slapped by a thrall, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would go ahead and I would say, yes, I will do more Vanguard than I will Gambit or Crucible that week. And I'd prefer if we had a little bit more of focusing towards that, because again, so there's that little bit of a problem where you still are forced to play things that you don't want to play. And while I understand Bungie covers quite a few different fields inside of Destiny. It's PvE/PvP game. It's a good balance of both, and they want you to enjoy all of these things, which is why they keep altering the sandboxes to try and find a good middle ground. But at the same time, I kind of wish that there was a slightly different way in which to do these things. I think it's a step in the right direction, but I do wish for a little bit more fine tuning.
What I wanted to add was that I feel this every time there's a Bright Dust nerf, there's a spike.
This is the third one.
There's a spike in price. So the next holiday season that comes around, whatever you're planning on getting is probably going to go from that 6,000 that it was from Festival of the Lost to like 8,000.
You're gonna find out real soon.
Yeah,
And then
we'll
you're
find out
not gonna shop.
exactly.
Well,
we're technically, we're actually getting. I want to say that they're full on canceling Crimson Days. It's being vaulted for the time being, and they're partly doing that. And I'm actually kind of glad about this because they're saying, I'm actually kind of glad that they're doing this. They're saying that they're actually canceling. Yeah, it's been around since Destiny 1, but I'm glad that they're doing this because similar like with what John was saying in the last episode, if you guys went ahead and you took certain things out, or you just went ahead, took a month off or something like that just to do patches, I'd be very appreciative. And I think it would do your community well. And I think that that's part of what they're doing right here, because from the sound of it, they're canceling at the very least this year's Crimson Days so that they can focus more on the season that they're about to introduce. So I'm really glad about that, especially if we ended up with another Season of Dawn, or I'm sorry, not Season of Dawn, The Dawning. If we ended up with another Dawning event where it's just a complete and utter flop, and it dries out within the first week, I'd be a little bit miffed, especially if the rest of the season, all of the content ends up feeling dry. It's like, guys, you're stretching yourselves too thin. No, I'm glad that they're pulling back on certain things, trying to make sure that they're delivering, or at the very least maintaining a certain amount of quality control.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they're saying based off what we read. I always thought the Dawning was fun. It was just, I would get on and I'd pick one person every year to bully into being my Valentine, and we'd play copious amounts of doubles until we both hated each other and ourselves, and then we called it a day. So just like real Valentine's Day, basically. But
pretty much
what they said is, we're going to cut it because we want to give you better content during the season. You know what?
But you got to give us better content, though. We taking stuff out and they give us nothing.
Well, I mean, at the very least, for you here, Dead, they are increasing rocket launcher damage by 30%.
That matters more than any content you could give Dead, is that rocket launcher buff.
Literally, last episode, they need to do damage. There's no reason a sniper rifle should be out
Apex Predator now before it gets sunset.
No, but I will say, this season that comes with the DLC, which was Shadowkeep last year, this season's been a lot better, and I still am like kind of ambiguous on the season, but this season was way better than season of, oh boy, Undying.
Yeah.
Season of Undying.
I see. Okay,
wasn't bad.
Me personally, I enjoyed the seasonal activity more than I enjoyed this seasonal activity, and I mean the lure versus the 6v6. Like, what the hell was it? Vex Offensive. I enjoyed the Vex Offensive a lot more than the lure.
On Vex Offensive, but in terms of everything else, they didn't give me shit.
Not really, no. Yeah,
no.
I will give you that.
At least this season, like, the weapons are kind of have their own flair or whatever. That was literally Curse of Osiris with leaves on it. That was it.
Yeah, it actually kind of like low key pissed me off.
Yeah, but like the season, the Vex Offensive I liked. Everything else didn't. They hyped up this story, and then we built a portal. Undying Mind came out, we killed it, and then that was it. They hyped up this story of like that they were changing, that everything's going to be crazy cool, like it's a Vex Offensive. You just go to the Black Garden and you shoot, the Undying Mind. Okay. That's cool. I mean,
I'm still a little upset. We had 3 months of them working on this like scaffold system
Yeah.
just to have it torn down the next day. I'm sorry. Wait, what? We're not going to be building on top of like the freaking thing here. It's not going to change. It's not going to grow as we're playing a game that's supposed to be growing.
Okay.
Let's add the fact that
unrelated.
Oh, go ahead.
Dude, did you know that Osiris was in the tower?
Wait, this season or Vex Offensive?
No, like right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I mean, in the mess, he said he was heading back there.
I literally found out tonight, a week before the season ends, that Osiris has been in the tower.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was over by Core. I was like,
they knew that's so like, crazy.
What? But like, they always talk about this, like they're gonna change the tower. There's gonna be this, that, and the third. They don't tell you. They don't make it happen. So I mean, they're getting there. I see the changes comparing where we are this year to where we were last year. But I will say, if this next season is Season of Dawn, I will throw my PlayStation 5 out the goddamn window. Because Season of Dawn was garbage. I didn't even finish the season pass.
I don't know. I kind of liked Season of Dawn. It was okay.
I mean, they only hyped it up because it was Satan 14. That was like literally the hype of it. I mean, like if they hadn't showed us him, it probably would have had more of an impact had he not been shown in the trailers and it just been a surprise. And like it would have been a lot.
That was like, yeah, that was right before the season of Worthy, and they were like pushing seasons hard, and they were teasing stuff left and right, and they very quickly figured out, okay, so we're kind of overhyping stuff.
Season of Worthy was another garbage season.
That was the worst season
that season
I
was horrible.
have personally experienced, and
But then
it was like so long because they pushed the date back because we were supposed to like have it out in September.
No, that was Season of Arrivals.
No, yeah.
Oh, that was Arrivals.
Arrivals.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
If they
Worthy just felt long because it was like it was absolute trash.
It sucked. But then Season of Arrivals, even if they wouldn't have messed up the release date, Season of Arrivals was a very good season.
Oh yeah,
very good
even
season.
With the extended, even with the extension, I really didn't have too much of a problem with it. I mean, sure, there was like every now and then where I'm just like, oh my god, I have 3 weeks, 2 weeks until the DLC drops. It needs to be here now. But even then, it wasn't terrible.
No, I mean, you had Prophecy. The public event was actually fun, and Umberling Grams was the best loot decision they've ever made. And I'm glad they're coming back because that is a fundamentally good change to the Destiny ecosystem.
I am glad that they're coming back, and I'm glad that they're also retuning the drop rate, because the amount that you could end up storing or the amount that you would end up getting was ridiculous.
I'd have like 20. My Postmaster would be full. I'd have full Engrams. They were overflowing.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they're coming back, and I'm glad that they also made the decision to go ahead and retune those. But I feel that that's going to help out some of the god roll chasing. Because I still use plenty of weapons that have been sunset. I still pull out my favorite Christ Foul every now and then just to go ahead and like relive some of my like.
I still use Regic's Broadsword in Crucible. I don't care.
Yeah.
You make me sick.
So yeah, I mean, if you could go ahead and grind some of those weapons that you're like, yo, I really liked that archetype.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't get the roll I wanted to. Even if it's about to get sunset, there are plenty of those weapons that I can see still trying to grind for to get that one roll and say, yeah, no, that's my baby. I want to keep that on.
Yeah. And I think, I like being able to pick loot, I really want a great roll of a Season of Dawn weapon. I can pick that. I don't have to just literally hope and pray that it shows up one day.
Yeah,
I think the ecosystem's kind of balancing itself out a little bit. I'm still not super happy about sunsetting. I think that's one of the biggest drawbacks of the seasonal model.
Yeah. I still think that probably that they're the easiest thing for them to have done, and it would have reduced a good amount of the backlash, is like the Dreaming City weapons and the
Yeah.
and the moon weapons, if they had kept those as okay, those will be sunset every year, but there's still a reason to go ahead and grab them because every year they'll end up with a refresh or something like that.
Yeah. Speaking of
So
which,
maybe every year they get sunset, and the next year they come out with brand new
or
rules or
even
something
not the
like that.
next year, give it 2 seasons, balance it out,
Something,
find some new stuff. I wouldn't have any
yeah.
problem with that. I would have no
No,
problem with that.
No, we wouldn't have a problem with it. It's just that, Bungie's not being very creative because I feel like they're gonna fall into like even with the Dreaming City weapons and the Pit of Heresy weapons. Take those for instance.
mhm.
Now, what if Bungie falls into the habit of where they're doing that? So those weapons get sunset. 2 seasons later, we're on a new season, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna reprise all the pinnacle weapons, so everyone can get all the pinnacle weapons again! Yay!" But they're all reprised and dumbed down and nerfed. But they have a refreshed, sunset date, and then it's just like
Adored.
everyone gets excited, and then they're gonna be like, "Okay, let's. What else is old? Oh, let's bring back all the year one weapons. Give them those! Yay!" And so you have this repeating occurrence where every 2 seasons we get new weapons, but then we get recycled old weapons. And that's just like, it's counterproductive. You're not really, the community is upset with the sunsetting. So you're trying to please them with certain weapons that were enjoyable at your best season, which was Forsaken. And
Yeah.
I think that's why they did that because they're just like, oh, well, Forsaken, everyone loved Waking Vigil. So let's just reprise all those and give it back to them. They'll be happy. Yeah, maybe 5% of the population of Destiny will be happy about that. But then again, you just sunsetted a weapon that they probably just deleted their god roll of their Waking Vigil. And now they got to grind
Yeah.
for another one, which is kind of irritating and it hits the soul. That's my spiel on it.
Yeah, and it's such a tough balancing act that I am glad I don't work at Bungie to try to figure out.
Oh yeah.
Because they want to give us new exciting stuff, which is awesome. I'm all about that. But they're like, well, we can't mess around with this because this weapon exists, and if we get rid of that, everyone's going to throw a hissy fit. Well, if we do that, then this is going to make this obsolete, and everyone worked really hard, and it's just I have a lot of sympathy for them. I still sometimes get
Oh
frustrated
yeah.
when I look at my like 60,000 kill recluse sitting in the vault because I love that gun and I had to work so hard to get it. But then I'm like in the crucible and I'm like using just like a quick draw uh Zen moment escape velocity and I'm like having a great time with it and it works with my playstyle. I'm like, but do I need my recluse? Not really. Like, do I like it? Did I work hard to get it? Is it like been through every raid with me? Yeah. But I have guns that work in the same capacity. I just didn't have to earn them. So it's just kind of a weird balancing act that I don't think anyone's like everyone's going to be happy one day. I don't think we'll ever have
Oh no.
consensus, especially with how
We still have
salty of a
people that
community.
are yeah, we still have people who are upset that there's even PvP in the game.
Wait, what? There's people like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I was in the forums earlier today and I was just looking up stuff to see. It's like, okay, so what are people angry about today? Is there something that I haven't heard about? And yeah, I saw like 3 posts at the top. It's just sunset PvP. PvP players have made this game the most toxic and they've ruined everything. I was like, the
Gotta
PvP's
see
been in the
this.
game
This
since
is
like it was the
hilarious.
beta.
The
But
original. I didn't even know those people existed.
Oh yeah, buddy.
oh, dude, there are people who are upset with other people who exploit things like the loot cave or something like that. Stuff that, sure, it's a glitch. It's a relatively harmless glitch though, and if you're taking advantage of it, you're still investing time into the game. Well, you didn't level up the way that I did. So what? All right, you took advantage of like a 2-week glitch or something like that in Arrivals, and you were able to go ahead and boost yourself up to the maximum power to be able to speed run a dungeon. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. But, it's also not like a world's first race and there's no cash prize. There's just bragging rights.
Yeah. And
It's a video game.
Yeah. And like
Hakuna Yotatas.
So we're gonna go back to 2 things we were talking about that drove me nuts today. I
Right.
literally flew off my fucking rocker today. All right, so we talked about Dreaming City. Um, Dungeons are still absolutely busted. Absolutely busted. There is no reason I should not be able to solo my way through Shattered Throne. I had when I gave up today, I had 3,000 kills and something like 66 deaths, and I was done. But they're still busted on the ad balance. We did a deep stone crypt in an hour, and the ads in the raid were easier to kill than the ads in a dungeon. It makes
Wow.
no sense. I
Yeah, I
couldn't
thought
get
that they were
past
supposed to have like fixed
stupid
the
ogre.
bug with all the fucking shadow thrall that were spawning inside the boss room,
Oh
or
no.
well, in the entire prophecy dungeon. But I remember the boss room was unreasonably difficult.
Oh
I
yeah,
understand with
buddy.
I understand with like stasis being the hot new thing and everything, it's gonna require a slight tuning to make sure it's still difficult. But at the same time, it seemed like it was way too much the last time I ran that.
Yeah, it's so that's still busted. And then we talked about exploiting. I don't have a problem with 99% of exploits until you take them into the crucible.
Yeah. Okay. That's the only spot that I can really start see like out of bounds glitches and such like that.
Out of bounds
Yeah.
glitches, huge problem.
Yeah.
Abusing a glitch with an exotic that exists. I I literally almost threw my PlayStation across the room today. I
Pocket Infinity.
imagine Pocket Infinity, but a super that you can cancel and then instantly almost have your super all the way back. And then they use it again. They kill you once. You run around. Some dude went 29-0 in a control match because all he did was use Geomag stabilizers with Chaos Reach, kill one person, stop, get his super back instantly, kill two people, get it back instantly. I lost my mind. And I don't understand why there's no balance to things in this game because that should be your number one priority if you're Bungie. I don't care about your content, balance your game. But they haven't been able to find that balance. If you need to balance PvE and PvP separately, fine. I don't
How long
care.
have we been asking for that?
I literally since day one.
Yeah.
Literally from the first day that this game was out, we were like, yo, you might need to change how you balance some of these things. Because, Thorn and Crucible, valid weapon, makes sense. It's good. It was really
Yeah.
good for a while. I would rather in my hand and throw it at ads than use Thorn in PvE ever in my life. It
Yeah.
makes no sense. Even with the new gauntlets that give it kind of like a glitch that's not game breaking, but it helps you do some damage, I would still rather my hand and throw it at the ads because it's worthless. Balance it so that I can murk a crowd of Thrall with Thorn, and it's still competitive in Crucible. But instead, I'm just, flapping in the wind when I'm using it in Crucible, and I might as well just keel over dead trying to use it in PV. It just doesn't make sense. Like, they're separate entities in the game and how we act and how the bounties work and how all this stuff happens. But when it comes to weapon balance, maybe not. I just don't understand it. Like, this game has the potential to be unbelievable, but you're okay with it just being okay.
Yeah.
And I think kind of the seasonal model, I think that was, I'm trying to think of the polite way to phrase it.
Crap.
Yeah, pretty much. But like,
It's like there's good and bad things with the seasonal model, and to a certain extent, I don't like it, but I would much prefer something like the seasonal model that we had with Season of the Drifter or Season of Black Armory. I'm not a huge fan of the season pass.
I'm not either.
It's okay, but honestly, I would prefer to go ahead and earn like the Bright Dust armor out of what did we have, those things, the bright engrams. I don't remember what they were called because they kept shifting the name, but it was essentially bright engrams.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that because it was like every 5 levels, I think, after you reached
Max.
the max level, you then got one of those things, and I loved it. I would just power level as this little fresh kindergarten who had finally reached the max power level. And I was like, I can just go ahead, spam grind whatever, and I'll get these things and I can earn some really, really cool armor. and I enjoyed it. I actually was able to get, I think, maybe 1 or 2 sets of armor out of doing this, and I thought it was really cool. It really invested me into, okay, just be grindy, because I enjoy being grindy. So I don't mind the season pass. I feel like it's okay. There are certain things about it that I don't like. I don't like, honestly, the way they're about to nerf the bright dust.
Yet again.
Yeah. This is they nerfed it halfway through this season.
Yep.
And now they're about to nerf it again. They nerfed it before with taking out repeatable bounties for bright dust.
Yep.
And then they went ahead and nerfed it halfway through this season.
In Shadow
and now
before Undying.
Oh, they did, really?
So basically I think what I think Bungie needs to do game wise is just go out on a limb. I've been working on my houses. I work on houses. So I sit there and speculate tons of things. And I remember when everyone thought we were getting like pets, because there was that picture, that old Destiny 1 picture with the links, and everyone just was like, because they said it was an MMO, and most MMOs have pets. And then I really did think they were going in that direction during season of, it was after I think it was not Arrivals, but the one with the Seraph Towers, and you had the little AIs that would help you, but they had like a little friendly badge on it.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, oh, so we might eventually get something that we can earn and level up and help us. That'd be cool if we can get one of those.
We did kind of get confirmation of that, though, when Beyond Light's trailer dropped and everybody was asking about the new ghost that is following Elsie around. And they said, yes, we are looking into that, but we don't have any word for you guys yet as to when that will be a thing.
Yeah, and the Clovis Braes, when you go into that one bunker, I forget where it's at, but when you gotta help destroy that Hydra, those bots like follow you and shoot, like it's getting to that point where I think they could implement something for people who play solo, where if your friends aren't on, you can like get a frame that you can level up, but you have to be alone, obviously. And they can you can have a frame to just collect materials for you, and it'll just run around and collect materials, and that's all it'll do. Or you can have it to be attacker, or it'll shoot things near you, and you can upgrade it to where it does significant damage, or you can even give it one of your weapons or something like say you have Crimson, you give it to your attacker, he'll use that Crimson, but you get the health. So every time he kills someone holding an exotic weapon, you get an extra bump in health or something. And I was thinking like for Iron Banner, for that week we get a pet wolf, and he comes back. You get to name him, and each week there's Iron Banner. Your wolf comes back. There's like a little dialogue or something that you can read. You can feed him, and then you can take him, and he's just for collecting materials. Something to just break and change the mode of it, and then like have it to where if you're just in the middle of the thing, you can feed him a treat. There's like a little animation for it, or there's emotes for the dog and you. So every time Iron Banner comes around, everyone has their own young wolf that you can name and do stuff with. I mean, it wouldn't take. I know game developing is not easy.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't take much to throw that into the game, because you're only bringing it out when it's Iron Banner. So that wouldn't be too much. You wouldn't be asking to. You only upload that file on the week of Iron Banner. And Iron Banner is just Iron Banner. That's it. It's nothing else. So instead of just doing Crucible Iron Banner, you can do a quest for your pet, your wolf, and then you go out, you collect certain things, level him up so he can run faster, things like that. Or he can pick up more materials for you at any planetary thing once you get him to a certain level. Something to make the game more fun and give us something to talk about. And then it's just like when you get into the party, it's just like, oh, all 6 of us are in Crucible. John, what are you doing? I'm playing with my dog. That's what he's doing. He's not playing Crucible because he doesn't have to. He now has the option, instead of playing Iron Banner, he can go and feed his pup and name him something outlandish because I'm sure that's what John would do.
Yep. Furry Savior 69. Nice.
So many worse names in mind that there's
Oh.
a bot. And this is,
But I mean,
like, I want it to be to the point where, like, Mo, while he's editing this, would just have to bleep for like 6 to 7 seconds.
That's the goal.
What did he say?
I'm pretty sure we can't say that on the radio anymore, Mo. What?
Look at the closed
We have to
caption.
upload the uncensored version to like.
Yeah. If we can get enough subscribers, there may end up being like, if you guys want like the unadulterated Kahana Talk podcast experience, you can go ahead, you can donate to the Patreon, and we'll go ahead and release the stuff live for
The
you.
unadulterated version. Wait a minute.
It makes some metaphors there.
But
a
you
little
guys
Mo.
get where I'm coming
Wait a
from.
minute.
Though.
Yeah,
Like,
it would be interesting. I know that the Destiny scene. There was an article a little bit ago, and unfortunately, I didn't save it, and it's lost now. But Destiny seems to be, or some of the people over at Bungie seem to be open to the idea of a little bit opening up some more solo player content. We saw a little bit of that with the start of the Master and Legend Lost sectors, and even Hawkmoon. You can solo that, and it's relatively easy if you know what you're doing in there. I don't think I'd be able to do it on anything but a hunter with like a Shadestep Invis, but I can see how it is easy to go ahead and solo something like that. Along with that, you know what? It may that may be something that they're moving towards, and I would kind of like to see something like that.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, it's just like I'm just throwing it out there, like it's just stuff I think about at work when I don't feel like playing. But these are things that would make me play the game.
There's enough of demand for it in the average MMO, as you had pointed out, that I'm sure that quite a few people in Destiny would be very receptive to it.
Like, it's not a bad idea. I mean, like, took Pinnacles away. Let us have a.
They're coming back.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
They
What?
are.
Sorry, I was just really excited about that.
Yeah, Pinnacles are never coming back.
I missed
They're
what did you
turned
say?
rituals now. They're ritual.
No, like they said, actual pinnacle weapons. There's 6 of them next season.
One for each.
Wait, hold on. They actually called them straight out pinnacles?
Yeah, hold on. It was, I think, the last one.
Are they gonna be like revamps of all the other ones?
So. I don't think
I
so.
have a feeling at least I have a feeling 2 of them are. They're gonna be reskins that
I think some of them might be like. Here we go.
I feel like in long term, I feel if it's a pinnacle or a adept, it should have a longer lasting life on it. It should last at least 3 seasons. Pinnacle should last 3 seasons. Adept should last 3 seasons. Because they're hard to get, and especially the trial one. If you manage to get a trial, I only have 1, and I got carried for that one. So it's just like if you manage to get 1, just let me keep it for 3 seasons. Don't sunset it following season, because then it just gets redundant, and I don't feel like playing anymore.
Well, I mean, Adored is sticking around, and the quest is sticking around for, I want to say, 3 seasons or so. Maybe a season longer than that. It might be 4 seasons. But next season, you will, for those who don't have Adored already, they will still be able to acquire Adored. Not that it's a great sniper. It's not.
No.
I'm not even a huge fan of it. I really do not like that sniper. I don't know what
Trophy
it is about
Hunter's
it,
better.
but it just feels really weird. I like Trophy Hunter, but I like it more for PvE.
Oh, no, I was wrong. But it says we're adding 6 new legendary weapons to our ritual activities, 2 for strikes, gambit, and crucible. In addition to the weapons above, Nightfall strikes are getting 3 unique weapons: Palindrome, Swarm, and Shadow Price.
Okay.
Which, that's 9 new weapons. 3 of them are Destiny 1, but these are weapons that I'm okay with. I think legendaries, I have 0 problem with coming back to Destiny 2. Because legendaries aren't the peak. Exotics, I'm like,
Yeah.
Could have done
exotics
with
are
that.
kind of hit and miss.
Yeah, I agree.
But Wither Horde, I think, was kind of also a prep for stasis, getting people used to just having zones shut down with like a wall of hate mail. Duality, I thought, was just fantastic. I'm not a huge shotgun person, but I don't know. Duality's fun. I like it. I'm glad it's receiving a buff. Actually, it's getting like 1.25 meter extension on both the shot package or the hip fire and the slug. So that's nice. It's going to be able to compete with Shap a little bit more.
Yeah.
I like how they just put
I think
duality into a, like, all the other content creators kind of just put it as it's a fun weapon, but it ain't. I wouldn't take it into trials. I wouldn't take it in. Like, they really just set that stone
I would.
as to it's not worth
Yeah.
getting type of weapon. Like, if you have nothing better to do, then grab the weapon type mentality, which I felt when I was using it, I liked it, regardless of what anyone else said. Like, I liked it. And yeah, I would take it in trials. I'd take it into PvP comp. I don't care. You know, it's my account, first of all. But I just don't like how they make those follower guardians be like, oh, well, if so and so said it's not a good weapon, then I probably won't even use it. But then they get stuck in that thing in their head where they're like, oh, well, it's not a good weapon. And they're like, well, what makes you say that? Well, because so and so said this. It's like, did you try it out? Did you go into comp with it? Oh, I would never go into comp with it. Okay, so how do you know if it's valuable in comp or not? You're just going off what someone said. And that's one of those things that I kind of don't like. So I can say, if you personally, as like, or Frostbolt, if he personally wouldn't do it because of his play style, then that's him. You gotta remember, we're all different people. We all play a different type of way. I play differently than John does. John plays differently than Mo does. So what we choose to bring in there to John might be like, what? Question mark? You simp. Like, but you know, him taking his regular loadout is supposed to be like the most manliest thing ever to walk this, you know, this green earth, you know. But I mean, it's based on like preference. So like, yeah, if you like listen to our like podcasts or our videos, we're going over weapons that we like or that, you know, enjoy, and you're just like, no, it's old. That's from D1. Who would use that? It's gonna be broken. You don't have to use it, but don't convince other people that it's not good or that they don't have to use it, because then they're missing out on content that's fairly good because they might have not played D1. So, I mean, we're just keeping that in mind. You know, some of these weapons, yes, are from D1, but you know, they're being brought back for a reason. Maybe not for, you know, lack of creativity on Bungie's end, but they're being coming back for a reason. So just keep that in mind sometimes.
I think the only problem I have with weapons coming back is when you vault it one season and literally the next season you reintroduce it with little to no change.
Yep.
I'm looking at you, Adore.
Shit.
They threw what paper towel over it, a decorated paper towel.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. At the very least, they should have given it quick draw over snap sights. That would have made it 10 times better.
45 zoom.
They did.
That's a 45 zoom on there?
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm honestly not a fan of the zoom. I mean, I would have liked a little bit less, or I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of the scope. I do not like the reticle on it. It's the beloved reticle, and I was not a huge fan of the beloved reticle. I used it because I had quick draw on it. I had quick draw and I had snap sights. I actually think I had like the God roll. Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. But I used it because of that quick draw. It was the only sniper I had that had quick draw. And if I could have gotten the long goodbye with quick draw, I would have used that. I would have used that as my main sniper. I actually preferred the sight on it. The zoom was the same, had less aim assist, but I preferred the sight. I think it was that chevron sight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like this little like triangular mustache that you go ahead and you just line up with somebody's head instead of this circle. I don't know what it is. It's like the circle. It's like I can't always tell exactly am I on the head, or I just kind of have to rest it on their shoulders almost, like where the head is supposed to be. Whereas the chevron, I'm just aiming, utilizing that apex.
Facts.
Yeah. I miss Destiny 1 scope selections for snipers. That's the number one thing that I'm still pissed.
That was something I liked with the Fate Cries Foul. I know it wasn't a great sniper, but I had like 4 or 5 different scopes to choose from.
Yeah, there were scopes.
There were
shots I could pull off with certain lower zoom scopes that I couldn't pull off if it was a standard zoom scope. Because I remember, thinking like in my game, because I wasn't really all that great at Gears of War when it was hot. When Destiny came out, and I was getting like 20 kills, 15 kills a game, and I'm thinking like, oh, I'm cold. And then people like John come around with his 89,000 kills after one match. It's just like, all right, maybe I'm decent. But I mean, there were some times where I would never use snipes in games. It didn't matter what it was because I wasn't good at them. But Destiny 1 made me feel like I was a good sniper. And I'm not talking like, Modern Warfare 2 type sniping, like that. That was fun, but I mean, I felt like I was like actually pulling off some pretty sick snipes, taking my time, getting a good lane, baiting them out. I was really.
We could actually do that in Destiny 1 too. We actually had sniper maps, sniper scout rifle maps.
Now here, I'm just like,
You have to be so freaking quick with those snipers, and that's why they have such high aim assist on them, is because we have such tiny little maps. That, and I feel that they just kept the aim assist from back when snipers, shotguns, and any special weapon was a heavy weapon. So they kind of needed a super high aim assist because you only had like a handful of chances to get a kill.
Yeah, and then Lord forbid if you miss, that person has a scout rifle, you're done.
You get booted. You get banned from every freaking LFG service. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it that's been going on this week.
Yeah,
I mean, they're bringing out some news. Yeah, we're on the last haul for the new season. I think the new season comes out February 10th. Is that right?
Don't know. I just look at the count now.
Sure.
I already bought all my season passes, so I don't care. I don't really have to.
Yeah, I'm about to just finish buying it out. I literally just can't be asked to play right now.
Yeah.
I did
I'll be on
today.
later. It's just, I'm having fun with the PvP. It's just
same, but
it's annoying. It's just I will not go into trials expecting to get any more than maybe 2 wins at most, especially with the trials count right now. I mean, it's not even breaking
you gotta go in with Cola,
and that's super
distant. That's why.
That's gonna have to be my carry right there. I'm just gonna have to sit in the back and pray to God that John just like wipes everybody across the floor of the Fell winners.
Dude, here's the thing. I'm really good if I know how you play. If I don't, I'm just guessing, and my positioning is dog shit. My goal is to be faster than you and get out of your way. That's my strategy.
Yeah,
and also
I need to play you a little bit more to start getting a feel for your playstyle and your like.
I feel like I should just get Lumina if I ever go into trials with him. I'll just steal one of his kills and then buff him so he can just murk the other 2.
It might not be a bad move.
Like, I'm only inclined to play Warlock now, just solely so John can rampage more.
Dude, what pisses me off more than anything else is 120s.
Why do you hate them so much?
Yeah, I do kind of feel like they were slightly overtuned.
Aggressively overtuned.
Just slightly. I mean, they should definitely have more range or more of an aggressive damage profile than a 140, I feel. However,
what are some of the 120s?
Maybe it's just that Destiny maps right now are just...
What are some of the 120s? All I'm thinking of is...
Oh, Krimel's Dagger.
Oh, that one slaps.
Steady Hand.
That slaps.
Yeah. Yeah, I was knocking John over the head pretty hard with it, actually.
Stop that. Don't give
But see, the funny thing is I've been using the Steady Hand from like season 1 of like when Iron Banner's first introduced. Like, I've been using that one and it spanks. Like, this new one, it's different than the one I have right now. Like it's the same gun, but like I don't have any on my other one. I don't have any secondary perks or anything. I just have quick draw, or no, I have outlaw on it. That's all I have. But something about its snappiness is really really good. But then when I use the new one, it's something different about it. But I can't say what. But it is not the same snappiness. I think it may be the aim assist or whatever, but it's a completely different weapon compared to the one I have. Oh, and I use.
Do you like it more or
I
less?
like the old one more. I don't like the new one at all. I mean, I would use it. It still connects, but it feels like it only connects up close, and that's it. Like it doesn't really get that far off range with my old one. I got that far off range because it had a set range back then before like everything got nerfed.
Yeah,
but it is. I agree with John. It's kind of.
I feel like a lot of it's just because we have these really, really small maps.
Yep. It fits what I
even then, I kind of would prefer to have like 2, maybe 3 meters knocked off of it. I really like the recoil that they have along with like the RPM. I think the extra 10 RPM actually made them a lot more usable. But yeah, that damage profile or the range profile on them feels a little bit too much. I was knocking people out on the other side of Burnout. I think it was with they were trying to challenge me with a sniper rifle, and because you intrinsically have high cal built into those things, I'm just knocking their reticle off to the side every which way. I'm able to challenge a scout and a pulse rifle with a 120. As much as I love hand cannons, it's a little busted.
It's very
just
busted.
a little. That being said, I'll still use a 140 over a 120 unless I'm just like. Say I really like 180s. I just haven't found one that.
Did the bot leave again?
I don't think so.
I just heard a weird noise. Okay, we're good. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. I like 180s, but I don't know. I haven't found anything that hits like Trust used to.
I finally got a what's that thing called? The new one.
Posterity?
Yep. And I like it. I love 180s.
It's really nice. I would like to have one with Killing Wind Rampage, but I think the closest I've got right now is Rapid Hit Rampage.
I really want Reconstruction Rampage, but I don't think those combination together at all.
I'm also actually kind of glad. I didn't actually think that we would touch on this. So they're adjusting PC recoil on a lot of weapons. Auto rifles, scout rifles, pulse rifles, submachine guns, hand cannons, and machine guns. So now they are also addressing some of these on controller. Hand cannons are not being addressed on controller, but they are being addressed on PC. And I'm actually kind of glad because I really enjoy the pacing of 140s, and going from PC to controller sometimes kind of screws me up because I'm ingrained with a certain type of pacing on my shots, and on PC I don't have that same pacing, so I end up losing gunfights because I can actually fire quicker than I can fire on PC. So I kind of have to adjust. Or I'm sorry, on controller, because on controller I have that momentum. I understand my pacing. I know when that reticle is going to be falling back down, and I've just got this groove that I can knock into. PC, I kind of have to speed that up, and it sometimes takes me like 4 or 5 games before I've really got it down.
What's funny about that you say that, I just pulled up this post where like Dr. Roydberg says literally everyone reduced weapon recoil on console. Bungie understood increasing weapon recoil on PC.
Yeah, that'll teach you.
Right. It's so funny.
We've heard your complaints. We're sunsetting all of the exotics so you can go ahead and grind legendaries, and it will feel like you've actually earned your loot.
Exactly. And I feel like it's just gonna put a rip between like, I mean the community is big enough, but we're over such a huge like different platforms. It's just that simple fact that like they're doing too much.
I think the reason they're also doing that is, I don't know, I think that they're trying to prep and even out both sides so that when we do have crossplay come in, it's going to be a lot more Yeah, a little bit more balanced in the way the guns will operate. Because if you're going up against a PC user, I'm not saying that the PC user is going to have an inherently easier time to kill you.
Well,
The advantage of mouse and keyboard is you have better movement. So if you're shotgunning, yeah, mouse and keyboard, in my opinion, is much better. If you're sniping, however, I would actually kind of point somebody towards keyboard, or I'm sorry, a controller, because you're going to have a little bit of an easier time with the aim assist. The gun or the controller isn't going to aim for you; it's going to assist you in your shots, and it's going to allow it to be a little bit more sticky. Now you can do it on either or. John absolutely just knocks me away from the roof when it comes down to shotgunning. I can't shotgun on a controller to save my life. I can decently shotgun on mouse and keyboard, but I can't always hit my shots on a sniper, or certain shots on a sniper on mouse and keyboard. I can kind of hit some other shots on controller, but I can't flick shot on controller. I can do that on mouse and keyboard.
On PC though.
It's been a minute. I need to get back into Kovacs.
I need to download Kovacs. Thanks for reminding me.
No problem. So yeah, I think that they're trying to balance things a little bit more, and I would still like to hear what Bungie is doing with cheaters now that they have the software that they got from, as far as I'm aware, they were able to get the software from from Gator Cheats, and they're reverse engineering that along with Riot Games.
Yeah.
I feel that was an integral move for them to make, with them trying to go ahead and release crossplay. I'm super excited for crossplay. Honestly, I would love to see the community as a whole merge together. I don't want to not be able to play with somebody on Xbox because they're saying, "Oh my God, I'm having such a hard time and I can't get anybody to help me because it's that time of the day." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I'm on right now. I could go ahead and I can help you right now." It's like 3 a.m. in the morning, my time, and everybody just went to bed. Sure, I got another 15 minutes in me. I can go ahead and help you and knock that thing out. Oh, wait, you're on Xbox. I'm sorry, I'm on PlayStation or I'm on PC. So yeah, I would love to see everything come together, as long as either A, they have a good anti-cheat, or Crucible is toggleable.
Yeah.
If it's not toggleable,
I say that about
I don't want it
every single day.
Yeah.
Well, I don't play COD.
COD is cock-a-doodie.
But that seems to be about it.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot to go over.
Yeah,
our primary thing was just talking about the season, and kind of just addressing some of the changes, what we like that we're hearing and what we don't like. I still say that I do not want another public event. The season of Arrivals was really nice, but I'm just
exception.
That's not my. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of doing public events.
Nope.
I'll do them, but it's kind of just because, like, oh, I happen to be in the area and I'm waiting for something else to happen, or I'm waiting for a teammate to get done with their patrol because they're on an exotic quest that says, "Oh, complete 15 patrols in the European Dead Zone" or something like that. I would actually much prefer something like the Vex Offensive, the Corridors of
Sundial,
Time, the Menagerie, Sundial. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. Some sort of a six player activity. I actually really enjoy those.
I want a 12-player activity. I want it to be chaotic.
I want a 12v12. I want to see those servers crash, boys.
I'll get Infinity.
You can stasis alone. I have frame drops every now and then when like the entire team pops stasis and there's just ice crystals shattering everywhere.
I want screen tearing. That's what I want.
I hope I open the season package in 2 weeks and it's Pocket Infinity.
Game crashes, it uninstalls itself.
Yeah. Then I would get my life back. I would be so much more productive.
No, because then they're going to come out with Destiny AFK Arena.
I'm waiting for some sort
Raid
of
Destiny Legends.
Those ads literally make me want to just buy YouTube Premium so I never have to see them again.
I know, right?
Ads are ridiculous. And then like I hate how they're just like games that aren't. It's not even what the game is, and it's just so. I'm just like,
Oh,
bro,
yeah.
it's just like, come on now.
Waifu Simulator, you find out it's like a puzzle game or something like that. There's half of those ads that I see like on Facebook or on Instagram or something like that, where they're intentionally playing the game wrong, and they know it's going to trigger you into buying the game and playing the stuff, and say it's not that hard, it's so easy. God, these people are idiots. So I got you download though.
Does anybody remember when Final Fantasy, the mobile game, came out? Like the ads for that were ridiculous. I ended up stopped playing Final Fantasy.
I do kind of remember that.
Was it 15 because of those ads? And the game wasn't bad. I was just like, man, this is too much, bro. I'm tired of seeing Knocked, this girl, all the time. But yeah.
Well, everyone,
It's been real. I love you all.
deeply, affectionately, passionately.
Smooching your forehead.
Yeah. Good night kisses,
know about all
everyone. Dead. Closing words. Dead. No, do not deny your listeners.
I mean,
you have a duty.
Yeah, duty. Yeah.
Duty.
Y'all just be safe out there. Appreciate y'all. And thank you, John JSWIM, for, being on the podcast with us again today. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, thank you for having me. I'll always be here.
we know you live here. Yeah.
Watching. Waiting.
I've just invited myself to be a part of this, and now you're stuck with me. Sorry about it.
I don't
Like
think anybody's complaining until you start poking buttholes. So I think that's where we start drawing lines right there. I'm sure Mo's okay with it though.
Yeah, I'm absolutely okay with it. I mean, this is our first actually censored episode. We're gonna have so many bleeps in here.
It's gonna be.
I intentionally went ahead and said, let's do the Discord, because we'll have so much less to do on the audio.
I say
editing.
just leave it
Immediately
in.
has to go ahead like bleep out half the episode.
Yeah, thank you all for coming and listening and watching. If you're staring at the screen, appreciate all that. Be safe. Put your mask on. Don't be like John. Don't get vaccinated because it sounds like it hurts.
Peace out, everyone.